You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we have latest superhero news, part 9, otherwise known as IX and D23 Expo edition.
Let's get it,
We have
dude.
a special edition of you guys who cover Star Wars and MCU news. No DC news, unfortunately.
I know. They're like, you know what? What do they normally do, D23?
Well, it's Disney, so no.
Oh, is that what the D stands for?
That's what the D stands for.
I did not actually know that.
Disney 23.
Oh.
No, they have their own DC
Okay,
fandom, so that'll come out.
Got
I think
you.
that usually happens in like October, so we'll be breaking that down
Got you.
soon enough. But D23, so I'm super hyped to get into the different Star Wars news, Marvel news, and all that good jazz. So let's get right into it without further ado. Starting off with Star Wars, before we get into D23, we have just a couple like rumors or casting stuff to talk about that wasn't announced, but has been, coming up. With that being said, we have the first one being Jodie Turner and Lee Jung-jae from the Squid Game in The Acolyte.
Do I know who Jodie Turner is?
I feel like I've heard of her, but I'm not exactly sure.
Do we know anything she's been in? Is it insensitive if I Google her really quickly?
No, Google Jodie Turner.
Okay.
I mean, shout out. I don't know who you are, but I mean, she's going to be in The Acolyte, apparently. And
Jodie
so
Turner
is Lee Jung-jae, of course, we know from the Squid Games. And I don't know if he speaks English, so I don't know how that's going to be when he's starring in The Acolyte. But
yeah, to be honest, I don't really know either. He did a killer job in Squid Games.
He was great. But does he speak English?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. He probably does.
I mean, a lot of other countries people do, but I don't know.
I mean, that was all, was it South Korea, right?
It was South Korea, so he speaks Korean.
I don't know.
I don't know. So I guess we'll see The Acolyte when it comes out.
I mean, worst case, he could be like the super fire villain that doesn't really talk.
Ooh, that's true.
You know?
He could be, and then just like the Sith Lord who just
the Sith Lord.
that would
That's
be
very
dope.
menacing.
I like that idea. All right. Did you find out who Jodie Turner's in?
Yeah. Well, I'm only getting Jodie Turner Smith.
I don't know.
Jodie Turner.
Jodie Turner.
But regardless, I haven't seen her in anything.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of her, but I may not have. I don't know. But that's that one.
I'm sure she got acting chops.
We hope so.
If she's casted in a role
she's
like
cast in
this.
this one, and apparently I don't know if she's the main one or not. But
And to be honest, I would assume she would be.
Yeah,
you
probably.
Know? She probably is the acolyte. If they're announcing it this early and it's the first official, casting that we're getting from the show.
They haven't talked a ton about the show, but I'm super excited for it. This is one of my most anticipated Star Wars projects, so I have high hopes for it. Next up, another Star Wars casting. This has been rumored for years now. Some people have said confirmed. The guy even posts on Instagram references to the character he's been cast as, so everybody's pretty much confident he's going to be it, and he would be a perfect casting. And that is, forgive me if I pronounced the name wrong, Iman Esfandi. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
I also don't know who that is.
He's an Indian actor from India. So, and of course, he plays Aladdin in Aladdin.
Oh,
live
the
action,
2019 one?
The 2019 live action.
Okay.
So he played Aladdin. He would be
All right.
perfect. And of course, he's been casted as apparently Ezra Bridger. I mean, he would be the absolute perfect Ezra.
Yeah. He looks like
an older version for sure.
Throw that boy in live action.
He would be. And of course, it'd be in the Ahsoka show coming out later this year, or not this year, but 2023, which I'm also super excited for that show. So that's cool.
It looks fire.
All right. And then now to get into D23 Expo. For Star Wars wise, that's the only other. Do you have any other news about Star Wars that you've heard of?
That was all I heard, to be honest, my brother.
All right. Well, for D23, we're going to start off the lightest, the one that's probably the least hype, but they talked about it, and that's the Young Jedi Adventures coming 2023. Honestly, as a podcast, we may not break that one down.
Yeah, I'm not excited at all.
I mean,
really.
we probably won't break that one down because it's literally made for toddlers.
Yeah.
It's literally made for toddlers. So.
I mean, last time I checked, I don't think that demographic lines up with us, to be honest.
No,
at least currently.
I mean, I would watch it just because it's Star Wars and it's apparently canon. But I mean, I might be on Disney
one day,
Junior.
Michael, what are you watching? You're like, goo. Got started Star Wars. I'm like, Michael, you good, my brother? What you watching? No. I'm like, my brother, you forgot how to talk. Okay.
I mean, I just on a Disney Junior and like
you have like a juice box
I have
or
a juice
something.
box, but after Young Jedi Adventures ends, and I'm just still watching like Doc McStuffins or Sophia the First. Or, I don't know how I know all these names.
Bro, Bro, I'm telling you gotta avoid that cliff.
I gotta avoid it.
You gotta avoid it.
At least we know what happens to these young. That's all the comments I've been seeing. Is like, well, my kids, we know how the story ends. They get chopped in half. So, that's a bit brutal.
Imagine like that's how the show starts. By the way, adults.
By the way, this is not for kids.
These guys are gonna die.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that was fun. Anyway, so we probably won't break that down for you guys, but if you'd like us to break that down, let us know if you're into that. I mean, I may be into that.
And if you are, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Maybe.
Because I know I'm not. All right, let's move on. So this one, I think I speak for both of us when I say we are both immensely hyped for this project coming in October. I can't remember, 26, was it?
Yeah.
And that being Tales of the Jedi.
Hype,
Holy
dude.
cow.
I know, dude. It leaked like a month ago.
It did.
Remember, on TikTok.
But just to see the trailer in like HD and just seeing it like clearly.
Went crazy.
Beautiful.
I watched it 3 times today. And I, to be honest, I really am more excited for this show than I am any other upcoming Star Wars project.
I'm so excited because for one thing, we're getting young Count Dooku as a Jedi and his like fall into the Sith world, and then Qui-Gon Jinn as his Padawan, and then a young Mace Windu as well.
And then Yaddle, and
we
then
see Yaddle have a fight with Count Dooku.
That's gonna be, I guess, towards the end.
That's gonna be hype. And that we actually, and then we actually do see as well Ahsoka at Padme's funeral. She was there, and we get to see that, which the tears are already coming.
Yeah. And I thought that one of the coolest parts about it was Anakin pushing her so hard.
Yes.
Putting her in that clone, kill box.
Right.
And ultimately, that's how she survived. Like, he pushed her so hard as a Padawan because of that specific, exact scenario training.
And plus having the dual blades. I mean, without the dual blades, she'd been dead. So, and just that ability and
literally,
so awesome.
the foreshadowing watching that part is crazy, dude.
And for me, I know for a fact, you have Dave Filoni doing this. I know for a fact this is going to be a fantastic show.
Yeah.
But my problem is it's going to be a series of shorts, and in reality, it deserved to be its own show.
I know.
And that's what makes me sad.
I mean, just 3 episodes alone, I just don't
feel it has
feel
6, but 3 are going to be centered around Ahsoka, 3 is going to be centered around Dooku.
3 for each storyline.
Yes.
And I just don't feel like those 3 for each storyline is enough fully flesh that out. I mean, I'll take any Count Dooku backstory, I can get. I think it's gonna be cool. I think we're gonna see a lot of hypocrisy from the Jedi, and I think at the end, easily he's gonna be manipulated by the Sith. Obviously, we've seen more of Ahsoka, but seeing her upbringing is gonna be cool as well.
And to see her maybe after what happened at Order 66 as well,
and
what happened in between, I'm so excited for that, and it looks phenomenal. I'm just wondering what their idea was. I know for a fact when they were making this, they're like, "Oh, the fans are gonna want to see this," but my process is, why didn't they think the fans would want to see this in its own show? And I would have loved
a season, to be honest, of each.
Sure.
Like a season of, Ahsoka, being born and ending with her, maybe at the funeral, or Count Dooku, starting with him being, becoming a Jedi, and then ending with him, leaving.
And it would be so beautiful. And I would have loved to have seen that, but I'm still excited we're getting this in any way.
I hope they're not like the standard, Clone War episode length.
Length?
Yeah, 20, 25 minutes.
I think they're going to be 10 minutes apiece out of the 6 episodes because it's shorts.
Well, we only that's 30 minutes when you factor in credits.
Yeah, yeah. So
are you for real right now?
It's not going to be a lot, so because it's a series of shorts, but hopefully, and we're definitely breaking that down on here.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm so excited for that anyway, even though it's going to be short. All right, next, and also real quick, we see in the trailer images of a new Sith. We have no idea who that is.
I was watching it with subtitles because I like subtitles. I may be old, but it said Inquisitor, at least on mine.
It did say, I saw it say Inquisitor as well.
I don't, obviously, that doesn't confirm anything.
And it couldn't be an Inquisitor, I wouldn't think, because, this takes place before Phantom Menace. Well, or was it during Ahsoka? I can't remember if she was.
I think it's during Ahsoka, to be honest.
Is it during Ahsoka's episode?
I thought it was.
So I wonder, it could be Asajj Ventress then, like a mask. It could have been that. That's possible.
I don't know why, though. I think it would have to be someone new. Or someone we haven't seen before. Especially if they're wearing the mask, we as fans
that brings
don't
me
recognize.
the question, if it is part of Ahsoka's storyline, then, who could it be, or why, or how do we not know about this before?
I don't know. Or maybe it would make more sense if it wasn't Dooku's storyline. That's
and if it wasn't Dooku's storyline, who is it? Is it before Palpatine? Is it Plagueis? I don't know, which would be so hype. Anyway, to see
I'm not entirely sure, but that part is cool. It ends on that note. It has to be big.
It does. So I hope so. All right, so move on to Tales of the Jedi. We get another Andor final trailer, which looks still phenomenal.
Yeah.
You said it's probably going to be the best Star Wars show, Disney Plus show. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it looks phenomenal. The way it's shot, the plot. I mean, it just looks amazing.
It's gorgeous. Like, I know we've already said all this before on our previous, breakdowns, but I mean, it's the first time they're not using that same green screen, right?
Yes.
They're going out, they're filming it on location. I know you just mentioned it, but I'll tell you exactly what I said. I was watching it in my room today. I got my headphones on. I'm watching YouTube on the screen, and I said to myself, I said this to myself, right? As I'm watching it, I said this when I was by myself to myself. I said this right here. I said, this is going to be the best. Not just like show, but just I think even season of anything we've got. I think Mando 2 is the best season of Star Wars that we've gotten so far, as a whole. And that's pretty good. But dude, Andor, I think it's going to blow everybody away. And it's something that I'm really excited to see,
I think it is. And
really
of course,
excited.
it's something that, we wouldn't have expected. Like, I mean, we said this all in previous podcasts, but I just really think it's going to be hard. I mean, going hard. I mean, seeing all the building up of the Rebel Alliance and to go against the Empire, we see Mon Mothma and several other characters that will probably be interwoven, Saw Gerrera, so on. I just think it's going to be cool. I don't know if we're going to get like lightsaber action, but even without, it looks amazing to me, and I can't wait to go into this show. And it's going to be 12 episodes, so they have a time to flesh it out. I just hope it's not like filler centered, but like just amazing show. So I'm excited.
And I hope not too, because I don't think this show is going to rely on cameos or like lightsabers.
I don't either.
As we talked before, I know they're dropping 3 initially,
which is a smart move.
But I really think this plot is going to be the best plot. Like I really think it's going to feel like almost not a Star Wars show.
Yes,
like realistically.
Yes, I agree. And I'm so hyped for it, and then watch it be like not good. I'd be so sad.
Imagine.
I'd be so sad.
There's no way.
I have high hopes. All right, to move on from that, we finally get the Mandalorian season 3 trailer, which it looks like it's about to go hard as well.
Yeah, really hard.
It does. It was a good trailer.
I was confused at a lot of points, kind of just where it was like skipping to and
fro.
And
to me, it looks like it was shot not on the typical green screen. This one looks real. This one looks like the Andor shooting.
Yeah, I don't know if they use the same, but I wouldn't be surprised if they moved it, because I think that and Andor was shot, around the same time.
Yes, so it looks beautiful. Of course, we get to go back to Mandalore, which I'm ecstatic about. We get more Bo-Katan in this trailer. We fortunately don't have the time because of how much stuff to break down this trailer for you guys, but we're just so excited for it anyway. Because getting Bo-Katan, getting some of the other characters from the past, and seeing Grogu's growth. Maybe we'll get Luke back again. I don't know. And Bobby Frick, which was the GOAT.
Legend.
Living legend Bobby Frick. Love that guy. But yeah, I'm just so excited for it. I think season 3 may just be the best one yet.
I definitely think it'll be better than 2.
2 is good.
2 is good. I think 3 will go hard, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ended with 3. I don't know
how many
seasons they're planning, but I think season 3 could be a nice wrap up.
Right.
But I don't know. I got really hyped when I saw Bo-Katan on the throne.
I agree.
I think there'll be a lot of stakes in this one.
I think there will be. I think we're going to get a Mando v Bo-Katan fight for the dark sabers. So
yeah, and seeing all the other Mandalorians, hopping out of the plane,
that was dope.
Flying, I was like, oh, that's so cool, dude.
Right. So I'm super excited about that. That's coming February, so it's coming soon. February 2023. So that's exciting.
Holy dude.
All right, next up from D23 for Star Wars, we get Jude Law's first look in Skeleton Crew. Is nothing much, just a picture of him
just
with
wearing some
stuff. Which I don't really. Of course, we know the comparisons are to like a Stranger Things vibe kind of show, and he's like the Hopper of this show.
Yeah.
Which I'm hyped to in general for it. I think it may be interesting. I don't know when it's going to come out at all. I'm assuming since they've already got an image of him, it may be sooner than we think. Like maybe like early 2024. I don't know. Maybe sooner.
I'm hyped because I don't know anything about this show.
That's
to
cool.
Be honest.
That's cool.
I know Jude Law, and I know he's
the GOAT,
attractive, and I know he's a stud, absolute stud. So
we'll see.
I totally forgot what the show is about. To be honest.
Well, they didn't reveal what it was like, the centerfold of what's
Maybe
about
I
yet,
didn't
so.
forget. Maybe I never knew.
Oh,
dude, I'm a
there
deep
it
thinker,
is.
man.
All right, next up, we got to go to the big ones, the big leagues, and the ones who are running it all, and that's the MCU and Marvel news in general. So before we get into the D23 stuff, we got to talk about the rumored stuff that happened prior. So right off the bat, we got Michael B. Jordan. Jordan is apparently returning for 2 singular projects, apparently in the future of the MCU, one of them including Wakanda Forever. But I wonder what the other one will be. I don't know.
I didn't hear that. For real?
Yes,
coming back.
Yes, apparently coming back. Yeah, I think I see you a post about that. So
I could see obviously coming back. I You know what? I can. If he did come back in the new Black Panther movie, I think it'd be extremely small, a cameo.
I think it'll be
maybe
like
mid-credit scene,
part of Shuri's visions or something like that.
But I do think throwing him in there would kind of dilute the story where they're going. I think it would be better maybe to have either one a Disney Plus show about his backstory.
Yeah.
I think maybe a Disney Plus show, maybe animated like What If about him as Black Panther, or they just say he's alive and put him in a later Black Panther 3 or Avengers film.
I think they'd have to explain it a lot better than just be like, oh, he's alive, he didn't die.
I just don't see them throwing him into this movie, to be honest.
Well, I feel like the theory I heard for him and Wakanda Forever is that when Shuri is like going into the ancestral plane, she's expecting to see, of course, her brother, but instead is met by Killmonger, and they have this beautiful conversation, and that's what I've heard.
By the way, I tried to kill him.
He released my soul from bondage.
Exactly. That'd be a kind of weird conversation.
It would be. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Next up, our next rumor is the rumor of Joseph Quinn, who you may know as Eddie Munson from Stranger Things 4, is rumored to play Iron Lad for the Young Avengers.
They're blowing up. Homie's blowing up.
He is. He's a good actor.
He deserves it.
He's a good actor.
I guess, how old is he? Like 28, I think.
He's like 28,
right?
29,
28.
something like that.
Would that be too old to play a role in the Young Avengers? Obviously, we had Andrew Garfield being 29 playing a teenager.
Right. Well, I wouldn't think so because we have Haley Steinfeld. And she's like 26, 27, something like that, playing a 22-year-old.
Yeah, she does look a lot
Then we have Tom
younger,
Holland, who's like 26, 27, playing.
They
like
all got baby faces, to be honest, though.
Well,
both Steinfeld and Holland.
They do. And Joseph Quinn looks a little bit older. But then again, in Stranger Things 4, he was playing. Well, he was like a 20-year-old high schooler, but still. Oh, poor guy. But
Iron Lad. Who is Iron Lad also?
So Iron Lad is actually a variant of Kang, if you did not know that.
Really?
So he is a variant of Kang, one of the versions of Kang before he does become the Conqueror. So that's cool in itself.
So he'd be like a bad dude?
No, he'd be good. But
so he's just a variant of him before he goes
in the Conqueror.
So
there's so many different storylines of Kang. There's so much.
I'm not too caught up in that.
No. All right. Our next rumor to talk about that, of course, wasn't revealed, and I'm shocked and sad at the same time because I think this would have elevated the MCU hype in D23 that they didn't release the Fantastic Four cast. But we got to go into some other rumors that we got. The biggest one is that Jodie Comer is apparently maybe Sue Storm, rumored to be Sue Storm.
Yeah, and I've seen that one over the course of like a month or two, to be honest. Like that seems to be the prevalent, rumor that.
And I'd be okay with that. She
looks pretty comic accurate, to be honest.
So
and I don't know. I think the chemistry will be there regardless who plays Mr. Fantastic. But
I agree.
She has solid acting chops, and I'd be excited to see her in that role.
Would be. And the next one is John Boyega as Johnny Storm, Human Torch, rumored.
Really? As Human Torch?
Yeah, as Human
Torch. I saw him rumored as, I think, Cyclops, too, to be honest.
I've seen that one. I like the Gwen Powell rumor the best, though, for Cyclops.
Really? To be honest, I could see both of them in a Cyclops role. Or, I have a hard time seeing Boyega in a
I have a hard time as Johnny Storm role. Yeah, I think he's too old for that anyway. I think he needs a little bit younger.
How old is Johnny? Like 18, 19?
No, he's 20? A little bit older than that. He's like late
20s.
Late 20s.
Late 20s?
Yeah. I mean, because you can't compare him to like Young Avengers. I mean, he'd be like a Young Avenger where not Fantastic Four. So I would think, well, the sense that what they'll do is going to be like young or like young mid 20s, older 20s. But yeah,
I could see that. I don't know, dude. I don't know how I feel about that. I really do like the Glenn Powell.
Oh, I love the Glenn Powell.
Or what's his face from Outer Banks?
From Maverick. Or Glenn Powell, Cyclops, and then of course Rudy Planko as Human Torch.
Yeah,
would be perfect.
I think that would be fire. But I don't know. I just have a harder time seeing Boyega in that role, to be honest.
But we'll see. All right, the next up, Michelle Pfeiffer says that Ant-Man 3 will be darker than Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man the Wasp, which I love. I love the fact that they're saying that, Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania is going to be more of a darker storyline because I think it needs to be. And also, I think this movie has a lot of potential to be very good. So I think that'd be cool to see. So I'm glad she's saying that.
I definitely do think it would be the best. Like you said, it has to go through. They've done the comedy thing for the first two.
They did. And I mean, he is a comedy actor.
A decline in villains, but they've really got to ramp it up. So I'm glad they're throwing in Kang. And I'm glad they'd be darker. Obviously, it's still gonna be funny, right? Humor's still gonna be sprinkled throughout, but I don't know. I think this movie's gonna slap. I think it's gonna be a sleeper. I hope so. On most really list, do. To be honest,
I'm a little bit worried from what I've heard about it. Not the reviews, but what I've heard from like people seeing the trailers, the pre-release trailers of like Scott with an ego and that kind of stuff. I don't know about that, but I hope the movie's good anyway.
Why? If he would have had an ego, he would have had an ego in freaking Civil War when he's fighting alongside Cap or in
I don't
Avengers.
know. We'll see, but I'm excited nonetheless. And we'll talk about it a little bit more as we get to it. So now to get into D23 and what they talked about and what they announced, which is super exciting. First off, a new Marvel game that I feel like you're super excited for, and that being Captain America and a Black Panther game.
Yeah, dude, I am so freaking excited. The little snippet they released is absolutely breathtaking. Like, it really does look like a movie.
It looks great.
But from what I understand about this game, it's going to be set in World War II. There's going to be four playable characters. You're going to have Cap as Steve Rogers. You're going to have, I think, Gabriel Jones, what's his face, the Howling Commando.
Yes.
You're going to have T'Challa's grandfather, I think Azuri.
Grandfather.
Or something like that. And then one of the Wakandan spies.
The Dora Milaje.
Yeah, something like that. In the Wakandan spy network.
It's going to be kind of like Gotham Knights is what I've heard, yeah.
So it's going to be single player. I think it's super hyped. Definitely those stories, I think, are going to collide with each other. But I think it's nothing but a dub. I think the same people that made... what is it? The Uncharted games are making this, and that's fire. I mean, I was like, all right, no, obviously, no EA, no Square Enix. I don't know how to say it. Sorry.
Yeah,
after the terrible Marvel Avengers game.
Oh Lord, so bad.
I don't know, dude. That's all I need to be hype. I'm gonna be playing it. I don't know about y'all, but
for sure.
I'm excited for sure.
Next up, a huge one that we got to talk about, a big one that was announced and talked about for D23, and they even released a trailer, and that being Marvel Studios' Werewolf by Night, which is officially, like I said, coming out in October, even though they waited till now to announce it. So it's coming out this October, and they released a trailer, and it looks so weird.
Dude,
I can't even describe it.
I know you're not big on it, but I'm pretty big on it, I'd say. It's like that classic, 20s, 30s, 40s, like horror, like old Dracula was, just the black and white, the flashy,
and that aspect's
shots.
Cool, but I don't know how that will fit into Marvel and now. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, maybe it'll just be a standalone. I don't know if it's confirmed.
If it's gonna have any connection,
but I really do think it wouldn't be that hard. I mean, we got our first look at Man Thing.
We got Man Thing.
Werewolf by Night is a Marvel character. It's possible to throw him maybe in a Blade movie and something like that later.
A lot of people are thinking that Mahershala Ali will cameo in this show.
Yeah.
Along with maybe Kit Harington or Oscar Isaac, because of course Moon Knight was introduced in the Werewolf by Night comic when he first introduced. So that may be possible. And then they're saying that this could possibly lead to a Midnight Suns with Werewolf by Night and stuff like that. So
that'd be fire.
I'd be interested in that at the same time, but it just looks so weird. I mean, yeah, it looks cool and interesting. I'm definitely going to watch it, and I'm curious to see what it's about. Of course, we get Elsa Bloodstone in it as well.
They got a good cast.
They have a good cast, and it's actually directed and been done by a composer, Michael Gian. I can't pronounce his name.
I didn't know that.
He's the composer who did the Batman, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Really? A composer directed the movie?
Composer is the director of Werewolf by Night, yeah.
Really?
That's crazy enough.
He's seen enough good movies to know how to direct one,
apparently. So we'll see. Or maybe horrible. I don't know.
I don't know. I was really pulled in, to be honest, though, by the plot. I mean, we've seen it before, but it's a group of hunters going out. But one of them, is, the werewolf.
Right.
So, I don't know. Just the whole plot, the whole, the classic tropes of an old horror movie.
And I wonder how long it's going to be, because we know it's a Marvel Studios special as displayed. Yeah. So I don't know. My guess is anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes.
Really?
For a special would be my guess.
I guess I could definitely see an hour, to be honest. I think they would take the time to, I don't know.
I think an hour maximum, because otherwise then it'd just be a movie. So
I think that you can get away with an hour-long special, especially if it's, an introduction to new characters. We're not talking about a Lego, Christmas special. This is like an actual production that they put a lot of time and effort into.
Right. But at the same time, even like with other holiday specials or other stuff, they're never that long. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be super cool. I hope it's long. Like an hour would be great, but I don't know, because it is a special. So we'll see. Which is still odd.
We'll check it out and we'll break it down.
We will. Next up is one of my most hyped things. This has been one of my most hyped things for a while now. If you remember back in my top 10 most anticipated projects of 2022. Obviously, they pushed it back to 2023 anyway. Yeah. It was one of my most anticipated projects. It was my most anticipated Disney Plus show that Marvel's done so far, just because of the comic storyline and the characters involved and just everything in between, and that's Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
And they released the trailer, which I was a little bit surprised, because it's not supposed to come out until March 2023, so I felt like a little bit early, especially considering the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer hasn't been released to the public yet, and it comes out in February. But all the same, that was one of the best trailers I've seen.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
It looks really good. You pointed out it's going to have those Winter Soldier vibes. Those political thriller, obviously.
It's going to be very serious.
Who is this taking over the government kind of deal.
It looks seriously good. I mean, you have a great cast with, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill, Don Cheadle, War Machine, Emily Clark. I mean, great cast. I have heard a lot of views. It's not going to be as much of a Guess Who. Like, they're going to reveal like a huge MCU character to be like a Skrull or something. It's not going to be as much that, but it's supposed to be very serious, Winter Soldier tone and that kind of aspect, which I love.
And I think Disney definitely needs to go in that route, right? Secret Invasion is a huge threat to their entire planet.
Yeah, it's a huge storyline. And then, of course, it was revealed that this storyline will actually get another show that connects it all together. And that being, it will lead, and it's confirmed that it will lead directly into Armor Wars.
Really?
Secret Invasion will lead directly in Armor Wars.
I can see why Don Cheadle, though, would be in this too.
Yes, so
I
that's
think,
hype.
Will Clark, will she be the Skrull Queen? That's what the
theories are saying. But a lot of, in the comics, the Skrull Queen was Spider-Woman. So I'm wondering if that may be who she is. I don't know. Maybe she's the Skrull Queen, but then later, it's revealed when they find the actual her, she's Spider-Woman. Something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
So Clark is Spider-Woman.
I'd be kind of like that. I love her. I love Emily Clark.
I could vibe with that.
We'll see with that, but it looks phenomenal.
I think, and you said earlier, you think it's going to be the best Disney
I
Plus
do. I think it's
show.
For sure going to be the best Marvel Disney Plus show.
I think, obviously, early predictions, I think it would be between that and WandaVision. Obviously, that's the best yet we've got, but I definitely don't think this will anywhere be outside the top two.
Yes, I agree.
Dude. I'm excited.
I think it looks amazing.
The trailer's good.
We're going to break down the trailer and release that later this week and give a little bit more insight for that. So that'd be cool for that. Twice. Gotta love it. All right. For Fantastic Four news wise, we did get the confirmed director, though, of course, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. And that being Matt Shotman. We got that. But of course, we didn't get anything else. That's disappointing.
I know, dude. And this is where I was a little bit disappointed, dude. I mean, obviously, Marvel came out. They said, dude, D23 is going to go even harder than our last Comic-Con. And then it just didn't. We got trailers. We got confirmations. I think the Secret Invasion trailer and then the Thunderbolts
was the biggest.
Roster, was the biggest. But, dude, we're expecting, Fantastic Four stuff.
I'm thinking the reason of this, that it didn't go as hard as it should have, and I talked to you before we did this podcast, but I'll let you listeners know. I think it's because that they had initially planned to release the Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Kang Dynasty titles for D23.
Yeah.
But the leaks of the titles and all that stuff was the reason they went ahead and did it at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I think that's probably...
That made absolute perfect sense. I don't see why they would take the two biggest projects coming up and they'd send them out earlier. Or maybe initially, they had Thunderbolts or some of the other stuff initially, and then after the big news leak, they just threw it out there and pushed some of the other stuff later, like we're getting now.
We still did get some cool stuff, so we'll break that down too. So of course we did get, and this is another big one, is the Thunderbolts cast. To talk about that. So we're going to go right into it. So, of course, the Thunderbolts cast, we called a lot of these. We predicted quite a bit of these being in the cast, but there was a couple that were like, oh, okay. So we'll break that down for you guys. Of course, it was announced Yelena Belova is going to be the center stage. Florence Pugh is going to be the main character.
She's leader, right?
She's the leader.
It won't be like Black Widow 2, right? Or will it be a standalone?
I mean, it's technically its own standalone movie, but I feel like they're kind of painted it to be Black Widow 2 because most of the characters are literally from Black Widow. So I think they are painting it to be like kind of a Black Widow 2.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I'm still excited. I love Yelena, so I can see her in that role.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see her interact with other of these characters as well. Next up, I'll let you announce it.
Bucky!
Bucky is going to be in this.
This is my favorite coming back. Obviously, the Winter Soldier no more. Well, I don't know what they're going to call him. Maybe
I don't know
Bucky.
what they're going to call him.
But dude, we talked about this earlier too, but I kind of wish he was leading the team. Like, he has the most war experience. He's seen the most stuff. He's worked directly under Cap. Obviously, you said he wasn't, as much of a leader, but like, I don't know about Yelena. Is she a leader?
I think she is a leader. I think she really is. I think she's got the ability. She's a strong person and she's really cool and great. Bucky, my thing is I feel like he could lead it, but I feel like he wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
his character, I feel like it'd be kind of off character for him to lead this team, if I'm being honest, because he's more of a supporting. He's never been like a leader. So to see him in a leading role would be super weird compared to what we've seen in the past.
I guess initially though, I was expecting a much more diversified and evil group of Thunderbolts.
I was too.
In that
Most
case,
of these are good guys.
Yeah, exactly. And in that case, I was expecting Bucky to be like the moral compass. Because of everybody I'd probably say he has the best. He's been brainwashed, not brainwashed at least for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. So I thought he would be leading that aspect, considering you had darker characters. Obviously, we don't, so
We don't,
it does make
which
more
is a
sense
little
to
bit
have Elena
disappointing.
there.
But it's cool to talk about the rest. Of course, we get one that I was not expecting, and that's of course David Harbour returning as the Red Guardian, which I was hyped for
It's
that
gonna be
one.
weird seeing like a daughter like commanding her dad,
Yeah,
maybe like on a team.
But I feel like he'd be down. He's like, Elena, I love the
he's definitely
so.
going to be. I feel like the muscle. Obviously, he is a super
muscle and
soldier.
comedic relief for sure. Yeah. He's going to be the Hulk of the team, I guess you could say.
I hope.
But I'm excited to see that. I love Red Guardian. I'm excited to bring him back. And then, of course, next up, of course, no surprise, with Ghost coming back. I never was a huge fan of Ghost, but maybe we'll like her in this movie.
I think she'll probably be the most important character on this team because when you look at all their abilities, their powers,
she's the most different.
Yeah, she's exactly, especially for like their Black Ops like stealth missions.
Right.
I mean, she can like freaking like teleport through stuff.
Right.
You know, all the others are like just hand-to-hand assassins or super soldiers. So
Right.
she'll have a lot of usage. So I'm excited to see her, fleshed out in a cooler role than Ant-Man 2.
I agree. All right, next up we're getting Taskmaster, which of course I would have been more hyped for it, except they completely butchered the character of Taskmaster in Black Widow. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, they could have done it so much better. But hopefully, maybe in Thunderbolts, it'll be better. I
just wonder, what redemption they could give to the character. Like, I was mad enough. It wasn't, who's the dude's name? Like, Tony Masters, right? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Taskmaster. I was just disappointed they didn't keep with the male casting because he's a big enough character for that. And then with the whole, I don't know, technology aspect instead of the mindset. I
just feel like it could have been so much
vibe
cooler.
with it.
I mean, Black Widow, Taskmaster should have been the main antagonist and should have been more of a villain role. And they just did it so horribly that it was so disappointing that we didn't get the right Taskmaster that we wanted for the MCU. So, Kevin Feige, I'm mad at you for that.
And, I mean, obviously in Thunderbolts too, she won't be, brainwashed, controlled into doing everything. So I just wonder, like, is she gonna be a comedic character? Is she
I don't know.
Or I want to see just like a straight up like beast.
I do too.
Like a methodic killer.
I agree.
In her own mind, not being brainwashed, but I just want to see like a black and white.
I agree.
This is wrong.
So I hope we get that. I don't know.
I kind of worry, but I'll worry about her.
I hope I don't get another slap on the head moment because like as soon as that was revealed in Black Widow, I literally slapped my face. I mean, in the middle of the theater, I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!" That's what people heard. I'm shocked, but. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Then next up, of course, we got the lead. Well, the one who put them together. I shouldn't say leader. She's the one who put them together. Yeah. And that's my girl, Valentina.
Valentina coming back.
My girl,
leading
Valentina.
the team. So we're going to see how evil she is.
Or not. I don't know.
Or not. Just seeing what they do.
We'll see. But she's, of course, have her. So that leaves some gray area. A lot of people are questioning, like, the biggest one's like, where's Zemo? Everybody's like, Zemo in the comics was the founder of the Thunderbolts. Where is he? Where is he at? Why isn't he in it? He should be in it. I think he's going to be in it.
Maybe the villain, maybe they're tasked to stop him.
I think at first what's going to happen here is they didn't want to reveal that right off the bat yet. And then they're going to wait and release Zemo later. But I think what's going to happen is Zemo's going to be a part of the team. He's going to be one of the people in the team as they create. And then he's going to have a bigger plan. He's not truly with them.
Yeah.
He's going to go against them. Create what I think the villains of the Thunderbolts will be, the Masters of Evil, because he created that too. I think he may create the Masters of Evil, and they go head to head with the Thunderbolts.
Head to head? Holy, that would go crazy.
I think that'd be cool. So I don't know. I mean,
got
that's
no
a theory
reason
I
to
saw
say it
online.
couldn't happen.
Yeah. And then, of course, a lot of people are like, where's Abomination or something? I feel like they didn't want to spoil like the end of She-Hulk, maybe, and that's why they didn't include him. I mean, he may not be in it.
I know, and I definitely do think he should, but I don't know. This roster just doesn't make sense, I feel like, for Abomination.
Right,
but I think we're forgetting one more, obviously, and that's Mr. John Walker.
John Walker. Yep.
As
John Walker.
the U.S. agent. And I'm really excited to see, I don't know, just like his hero form now, obviously, Well, episode 6, like, he chose the people over the drugs, over his mental state. So I'm excited to see how him and Bucky kind of interact. But, I mean, overall, when you look at the team, you're looking at 3 super soldiers, right? And Bucky, U.S. Agent, and Red Guardian.
Yes.
They all have the same exact power as far as we know.
And then, of course, you have
versions.
Taskmaster and Elena, who both have
2 assassins, right? And then you have Ghost, who's an outlier. So it's just, I mean, regardless, they're all just hand to hand. So I don't know. I guess everything's just going to be very more low-key assassinations taken out people rather than like large-scale stuff. Like I said, they don't have a monster. They don't have Abomination. They don't have like any like ruthless killers, to be honest. All these people are kind of good. So
I know, like, why didn't they go more bad? That's what I wonder. So, I don't know, but hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. I feel like it has the potential of being very good and very bad. So I don't know. It could go either way. Next up, we got to talk about the news of Captain America: New World Order that they announced. And
Fire.
one of which debunks my complete theory of She-Hulk, which I'm kind of disappointed in. And that is, it's confirmed the leader will be coming back in this movie, which is kind of odd to me.
Yeah, in the Cap movie. But, if they weren't going to use him in She-Hulk, I guess this is a fine place to throw him in.
I guess so. And I'm still a little bit sad because I feel like the leader would be perfect in She-Hulk. And he still may be in it. I don't know. But if he's going to be the main villain, it's not been confirmed, but everybody thinks he probably will be the main villain of New World Order.
Yeah.
I think it might work. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. Maybe Mark Ruffalo will show up in this movie. I don't know.
I mean, I just don't want too many characters, taken away from, Anthony Mackie's first.
And Bucky's not even in the cast. That's what's interesting.
Bucky's not in. So who is in the cast? Right, Danny Ramirez.
He's going to be Falcon.
As Falcon.
He's going to be turning into Falcon.
We knew that was going to happen.
Isaiah Bradley.
As
the dude who plays. I forgot his name. The guy who plays Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah,
is going to be in it.
What is his role again? Who is he going to be?
Well,
playing?
I mean, remember he's the old man.
The super soldier, right?
Super soldier. So
we have.
I mean, I'm sure we're probably going to get. what's his name? The Young Avenger kid. More mentor.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Oh man, I forgot his name.
But he becomes like Iron Patriot.
Iron Patriot. That's it.
Right?
Iron Patriot. So he becomes Iron Patriot. I think we'll have him in that. So I think this could be a very interesting movie for sure.
Yeah. I just hope we don't see too many origin stories. Obviously, we've seen Falcon's origin story in becoming Captain America at the end of his show. But I mean, at the same time, I don't want to see the Falcon's origin and Isaiah Bradley and
I think inevitably
the young kid's origin story. I think that might be too much to throw in the movie.
I think for the Falcon, I think he's just gonna Falcon's or Captain America now is just gonna give him his old wings and be like, here you go. And then that's what's gonna happen. And then he's gonna help him that way.
Yeah,
I think that's more likely. But we'll see. I don't know. Interesting nonetheless, but I'm excited to see it.
I just don't understand how you keep up Bucky, man.
I think the reason they're doing that is because they really want to show that this is Anthony Mackie's movie. This is his movie. This isn't a team-up movie. This is him as Captain America.
And then they give him a huge list of people to team up with at the same time.
Right, but those are not as big a characters as Bucky is. So to have him and be he's the head. Like, the credits roll is going to be Anthony Mackie's name. So, that's cool in itself.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right, next up. One thing I'm mad about, that D23.
Go off.
Okay,
Come on.
For my thing with D23, okay. You are showing all this stuff, right? You showed a special look for Echo. Yeah. You showed a second, not even the first one again, the second Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer. You showed all of this stuff, all of this special looks and stuff to the 200 people that were there that paid for the tickets, that have the means to get there. Yeah. And you show us nothing of that. That makes no sense to me. For one thing, that makes me mad because of the fact that, there's fans all around the world that deserve to see that stuff too, as much as them.
Can't obviously go.
But can't go.
Yeah, of course.
Can't do that thing. And I understand, the arguments. They paid for it. They got the tickets for it. And I'm like, they paid for the experience of watching you unveil it. They paid for the experience of meeting the actors. They paid for that. But why can't we get, they get a second Ant-Man trailer and then we haven't even got the first one yet? That makes me mad. And it comes out in February. If I would have got the Ant-Man Quantumania trailer, that would make sense. But why are you showing these people that are no different than us all this stuff?
I guess they're just trying to build up massive hype. Like, hey, no cell phones, but when you go home, make so many TikToks about what you just saw.
Exactly.
I think they're just really trying to build up the hype. I mean, honestly, they're doing a good job too of it. Like, we're sitting here talking about what we think it could be,
right?
And the small group has already seen it. So I
just don't think it's really fair. If I'm being honest,
I definitely do think we deserve that trailer
at least, But oh well. We'll see what happens with that. All right. Also, to other rumors, this was not D23, but something just huge to talk about is it said confirmed on the post, but it's definitely not confirmed. It's rumored that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be returning in Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Yeah. I think for sure.
I think that's absolutely perfect, to be honest, with the whole multiverse scene.
Right.
Obviously, dude, I was expecting Maguire to die at the end of No Way Home.
I was too.
But, them all being alive means that we're going to see him again. So, imagine how hyped that would be. In that case, theoretically, if we're talking multiverse case for those two movies, why couldn't they just bring different versions? Why couldn't they bring a Tom Cruise version? Why couldn't they bring RDJ back himself? Why couldn't they have Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans as Captain America?
Who knows?
Bring in every variant.
Watch them do they're getting ready for Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, so we have some special announcements for Kang Dynasty. Starring in Avengers Kang Dynasty, you just see RDJ come back up on stage. I'm losing my mind.
That'd be cool.
And he's the main character. I love it.
Or the first thing that we see is they're getting their butts absolutely beat, and they need a master genius to stop him. And then he just like out of the
different
clouds,
multiverse or something.
you hear like his armor, and then his helmet comes off, and it's RDJ.
I pass out. The MCU would be back because, of course, everybody's saying it died with his death. So.
Exactly. They'd be like, bro, he's back.
The MCU's returned.
$5 more billion. Morbius could be in it too. Now that I think of it. Morbius.
It's Morbid time. Avengers. It's Morbid time.
They wouldn't even need the Avengers if Morbius is in the fight.
It's
Morbius versus Kang.
The Kang Dynasty. Morbius, Secret Wars. We don't even need the rest of the Avengers. Who cares? Just get him versus Kang and Doom. That's all we need.
That'd be so hyped though. Imagine if like they had the rights to those characters at that point. Venom.
Go hard. I would love to see like all these characters. That'd be really cool.
Morbius.
Also, to other rumors, it's been like very much rumored, like and leaks and stuff that like Henry Cavill is apparently going to be Doom. Like a lot of people like it's heavily rumored right now that
really
that's the big one. It's not confirmed, but it's heavily leaked, and it's also like they released like a huge leak of cast list, and John Krasinski's one of them is Mr. Fantastic. Like, it's a huge leak, possibly being Mr. Fantastic. Another one, of course, is Giancarlo Esposito, of course, might be Professor X.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had John Boyega, who knows, and then some other characters like that. And, of course, one of them was the Jodie Turner for Invisible Woman and stuff. So who knows? I mean, I would love to see Krasinski, and I would love to see Henry Cavill's Doom. So that'd be kind of cool.
Dude, Cavill as Doom would go hard. Obviously, everyone's been spectating what role. Obviously, Hercules is taken.
Right.
But if they like dyed his hair red, dude, he'd be a legitimate threat. Like not just technologically, spiritually, but physically. He's a big old dude.
He is.
See him in that armor, dude. I don't know. That kind of goes hard.
I agree. So that concludes the D23 Expo kind of podcast, along with the other news for latest superhero news IX. So hopefully we're excited for more and even more to come.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast Here's in the Moment is available on all major podcast platforms. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Deezer, wherever you listen, we're on there. So go ahead.
Us.
Check us out. We appreciate the support y'all been showing us recently, so thank you, and we really appreciate that. If you want to stay up to date with all of our new episodes, our announcements, some cool, little fun interactive stories, head over to our Instagram at Heroes in the Moment, where we constantly post stuff. Also check out our TikTok, Heroes in the Moment extra T at the end, where Michael makes some banger videos, so go ahead, check this out. As far as our upcoming episodes go, we're going to be breaking down the Black Adam trailer coming out this Thursday, 5 a.m. The trailer goes hard. It looks great, to be honest. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. So check it out. See what we think of it this Thursday at 5 a.m.
Yes, and we just want to thank you so much for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.